Hi, today I'd like to talk to you about the history of cannabis. I think it's important that we understand its history, where it's come from, and the things that it's gone through to get to where it is today. It's the third millennia, BC. It was valued for its fiber, medicinal, recreational, and spiritual and religious practices. It can also make clothes, anything cloth-like. In fact, at the time of George Washington and our founding fathers, farmers had to grow it, had to have hemp on their farms in order to supply the Navy with enough rope, because the rope made out of hemp was very, very strong. And cannabis has had its ups and downs, but keep in mind that even our first American flag, made by Betsy Ross, was made out of hemp, because it was the strongest cloth-like material that there was at that time. So it has really had a history within the United States, but cannabis has had its ups and downs worldwide. It's been banned everywhere at one time or another in different time periods in history. So in the 30s, cannabis was legal in the United States. Prohibition was on, and we were also in the Great Depression. Now, there was people that were looking for somebody to blame for the Great Depression, so this church group got together and made a movie called Reefer Madness. Now, I have to tell you a story. All of my life, at least since I've been partaking, I always thought there was alcohol people that pushed really, really hard for it to be banned in the United States, because Prohibition was just over, and I figured the sales probably weren't that great because pot had been legal and people just didn't care about alcohol. Well, I was wrong. It was a church group that did it. However, now that I think about it, if I did a little bit more research, who funded that church? But I digress a little bit. If you have not seen Reefer Madness, it is on YouTube, and now, of course, it's hysterical. You can tell by the production when you go watch it that it was done in the 30s. So you should go watch it. It was enough to scare everybody in the 30s, because they had no way to fact check like we do nowadays. So it scared the hell out of everybody, and pressure got put on Washington, and of course cannabis was made illegal. And not only illegal, but schedule, whatever it is, the top one. So it became a felony, which is very sad. But just like in other places, cannabis always makes a comeback because it's good for us. I mean, it was put here for us for a reason. It was probably one of the first things ever planted, and it's been found in everywhere in the world. So, and I do find it fascinating that it has been banned so many times, and I'm fascinated the fact that it keeps coming back and back. But it is because it's good for us. It's like it was put here for us. And we actually have receptors in our bodies that are made for cannabis. Now, I'm not a doctor, and you would have to talk to your own doctor, which I did. I talked to the doctor himself, and I said, okay, what's your feelings on CBD? Well, I haven't really studied it yet, he said. The same with the physician's assistant. Well, I don't really know that much about it, so, I can't say one way or another. So it's up to you to do your own research on whether it's something that your body needs. But thanks to President Trump signing the Farm Bill, thank you, President Trump, the CBD industry has exploded and is expected to just keep growing as people realize that it's been kept from them all of these years. I have to tell you a story. A few months ago, my little dog, Buttons, went over the Rainbow Bridge. Now, we found out that Buttons had come out of one of those puppy mills, and she was a mess. She never did get over being alone ever. But in the last couple of years, she was really ill. She was blind, and she hated it if I left her. And it didn't matter if somebody came back here and got her. She would bark and bark and bark until I came back. So I became sort of chair potato, I guess you'd call me, since I sat in front of the computer. After she went over the Rainbow Bridge, I decided that I was going to go back to the gym, which is a good thing. But I was in so much pain going to the gym all the time until I found some CBD stuff. And I swear by it. Now, it got me through it. And I couldn't go to the gym without it. Complete misery without it. So far, 11 states and the District of Columbia have totally legalized it. I think I already told you that. And it's on more ballots every year. So eventually all the states will have it legalized. And some other good things I found out through some research: bees. You know that the bees are really in a lot of danger, and if we lose the bees, there won't be any us anymore either. Well, bees love cannabis. So they're saying that could be a really good thing because it may help with the population of the bees. So I found that very fascinating. The only thing that's a little bit worrisome, because there's already been reports of CBD oil that was very, very poor quality coming from China. And also Monsanto/Bayer, the glyphosate people, want to get into the production of it. That worries me to death. So you have to be very careful about where you get your CBD from. Make sure that it is of purest quality and grown in the United States and is organic. So those are the only two worrisome things, that people get a hold of bad stuff and that Monsanto/Bayer wants in, which can never happen. We have to stop that. Cannabis keeps being given back to us like we are supposed to have. And again, I'm not a doctor. You do have to do your own research, but I'm telling you, it can do a body good. I will be bringing you more reports on cannabis and other healthy things also. But I do appreciate you listening now. Thank you.